We have some breaking news happening right now in Queens, and it is more terrifying crime in the subway. Somebody pushed off a train platform and hit by a train. This is Citizen App video from a short while ago. It's at the Jackson Heights Roosevelt Avenue station at 74th Street and Broadway. An F train hit him as it was pulling into the station. Rescue crews tried to pull him from the tracks, and they took him to Elmhurst Hospital. The victim, we're told, is a man in his 40s. New York cops have arrested someone. We have a crew headed to the scene, and we'll bring you more as we get it on air and online.
In this video, we're going to take you to New York. The crime in New York has just gone through the roof with numbers, especially when it comes to gunshot violence and being pushed off of the subway platform on the tracks in front of oncoming trains. This is the most craziest stuff ever that's going on in the US of A. The violence is out of control. Y'all need to do better with y'all life. I'm trying to understand, why are you making split-second judgments that's going to affect the rest of your life? Because your ass going to either go to jail or you're going to die. It's one or the other. You're not going to be able to do the crime and just get away with it. So why don't you just stop now? Just stop with all the nonsense. Go find something else to do with your time besides going out there hurting a person, getting into fights, arguments, just that nonsense. Go take a walk. Have sex. Listen to some music. Play some dominoes or cards. Dance. Talk. Walk. Do anything except for roll with Satan. Y'all are rolling with Satan. I know he run the world, but he's gonna have you follow him straight into hell, because that's the only place you are going when you're dealing with him. So why don't you just go in a different direction and save yourself? Do better with your life. Do better and quit getting in trouble. Damn. Welcome to Straddled Events. On this channel, we bring you the truth. Sometimes the truth is quite ugly, unbearable, and you just don't want to deal with it. But on this channel, you're gonna get it anyway. You are straddled the fence of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And on this channel, we're gonna tell you to do better. Please like, dislike, subscribe, and share the videos. Now let's go.
A teenager gunned down on a subway in Far Rockaway.
J. John Burnett was just 15 years old. Police say he got into an argument with another group of teenagers on Friday. One shot was fired.
Now, that shot ended his young life and forever changed the lives of those around him. Police announced an arrest, but it is far from closure for Burnett's family. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon.
18-year-old Keandre Russell is charged with murder tonight in the shooting death of 15-year-old J. John Burnett yesterday afternoon on the A train.
Thank God they caught the guy. They caught him, because he needs to be put away from what he did. He was a baby. He's a child. He didn't get to live his life yet.
Neighbors here at his family's Far Rockaway building are lighting candles. Conchita Finley just saw him going to school yesterday morning and is devastated for his parents.
His mother took care of him. His father they was always there for him. And if he's not home on time, she go off.
He was the greatest brother I had. He was more like a son to me. He wanted to go proceed in the football field. He wanted to move to Florida after this high school. Straight A student, loved school. He was just the most loving brother ever.
J. John's older sister, Regina, lives in Florida and says their mom is broken.
5 days before his birthday, this is crazy. He couldn't even make it to 60 years old.
Despite the arrest, police still don't have a motive for the shooting that happened as the train was pulling into this station. There were two groups of kids who were arguing, which is why police say the shooting likely was not random.
Can't believe that's, the world that we're living in, to come to find out that kids don't argue or fight no more with hands. They don't know how to play. You can't even go outside no more and walk around the street without having to watch your back.
J. John Burnett is the 8th person to be killed in an act of violence in the subway system this year. In just the last month, Tommy Bailey and Charles Moore were stabbed to death on subway trains. Suspects charged in both cases were people they didn't know.
I'm just glad that New York City got the person, and hopefully whoever else was on that train they can see them, talk to them, and figure all this out.
In Far Rockaway, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
New tonight, our one-on-one with New York's top cop. We're riding the rails with the police commissioner as her department wrestles with the challenge of trying to keep New Yorkers safe on the subway as the fear of crime mushrooms. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger live tonight in Midtown with the exclusive. Josh.
And Bill, we were the only TV station to join Commissioner Keechant Sewell on the 6 train here behind me as she saw firsthand the twin priorities, both very important underground. First, of course, keep driving crime down. But second, and almost as important, to make strap hangers feel safe. Tonight, Eyewitness News was along for the ride as the city's top cop went underground. Police Commissioner Keechant Sewell touring a subway station where a teen was assaulted over the weekend and riding with New Yorkers who all have an opinion.
Do something about the crime, guys. Do something about the crime. That's what I learned today.
I learned that we have more to do, and we're here to do it.
It's been a rough 2 weeks in the transit system with 3 murders, 2 in the subway and 1 on a bus. The NYPD, which already flooded transit with hundreds of cops since the beginning of the year, just today surged nearly 1,000 more, focusing on 15 train lines in 20 stations.
Obviously, we're concerned about the safety of New Yorkers. The subway has to be safe. I remember taking the subway myself to go to school. The people who go to school, the people who work in the city, and this is the lifeblood. It has to be safe.
The irony is, statistically, the subway is as safe as it was before the pandemic, with, on any given day, an average of 3 million riders and just 6 so-called major crimes, things like robbery or assault, throughout the entire system.
We have increased officers on trains and platforms so that you can ride safe.
But when it comes to strap hangers and their safety, perception is reality. So the commissioner's voice is now being broadcast above station platforms, and cops say conductors will soon announce the presence of officers as a train pulls into a station.
We have to make people feel safe. And that's what we're trying to do every day, every hour, every train that we're on. We're trying to make people feel safe and make them safe.
They want to feel safe in the subway system. This is what they're telling us every time we ask them. Riding these trains, seeing commuters and letting them know that we're here and we want to address their concerns is very important to us.
And a big part of this, of course, is the act of solving open cases. And the reason that they were here at the 6th stop on 51st Street is because on Saturday afternoon, a 17-year-old was set upon by a group of 6 suspects who beat him and kicked him and stabbed him. Police have released these images of the suspects, and they're hoping for help in catching them. They do believe the suspects knew the victim, and the victim in this case, fortunately for him, was not seriously hurt.
And now to more gun insanity in New York. This time in Brooklyn, a teenage girl shot and killed in what cops say was an accidental shooting.
In fact, they say she was just hanging out with a group of friends when she was shot and killed. But how did it happen? And whose gun was this?
Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon spoke with the victim's brother and is live in East New York. Sonia?
And Sade and Bill, detectives here at the 7-5 precinct station are hoping to answer those questions as they interview witnesses who were with Raylan Cameron last night. They would like to know what those young people were doing with a gun in a vacant apartment here in East New York. Raylan was from Far Rockaway, Queens, but she spent a lot of time here in Brooklyn. She was a freshman at Medgar Evers after graduating from high school in the spring. I spoke with her brother, who says he was so proud of all she had accomplished and knew she could accomplish so much more. Her family is struggling to understand how her life was so violently cut short just shy of her 18th birthday.
She was caught in one of those positions where you have somebody who you just don't want to give up on, so you try to be with them every step of the way, and then an accident happened, an irreversible accident.
The person 17-year-old Raylan Cameron didn't want to give up on, according to her brother, was their cousin, who she was with when this tragic accident happened inside a vacant 6th-floor apartment in this building on Eldert Lane. The NYPD has security video showing 2 people carrying her body to the lobby after she'd been shot once in the chest. That's where Raylan was when police and an ambulance arrived, rushing the Medgar Evers freshman to Brookdale Hospital. She didn't make it.
She was at a point in life where she was really changing herself, making progress, and she just wanted to bring somebody to that level with her. And unfortunately, their bad habits and history caught up with the both of them, but she's the one that paid with her life.
A life filled with promise.